Hey everyone! So we are going to talk about Samhain in this video. I hope you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could take a moment to like and subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And let me know in the comments if this was helpful or what else you would like to know about. Okay, everybody, in this video, we are going to talk about Samhain, right? We are here, the thinning of the veil. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? This time of year, we're just getting over the whole eclipse season, and we're feeling, and as the veil starts to thin, you're going to feel that more. It's an ancient feeling. You feel it in your bones when you can feel the shift happening throughout this month. Especially if you're a witch, you just feel it, right? So this is a fire Sabbat, and it is one of four. Traditionally, this holiday is taken and celebrated by the ancient Celts, right? And originally, when the ancient Celts were celebrating Samhain, they did not originally honor the dead. That is, I wouldn't say modern, because ancient Celts eventually did adapt and adopt that. But it wasn't until later. Originally, it had everything to do with the veil thinning and fae being able to cross over, spirits being able to cross over. And fire was used to cleanse and protect, casting the light on the shadows of the other realm that are now walking the earth, right? So eventually they did honor the dead. And with that adaptation, they started doing something called dumb dinners, right? So what is a dumb dinner? And you are totally, if this is a sect, ancient Celts is a sect practice that you like to do, you're totally free to do this. You can adapt and add things as you want to a dumb dinner. But it's not called dumb because it's related to intelligence. It's called dumb because it's done completely in silence. And it's done in reverse. The ancient Celts had a belief system that with the other world and things being done in reverse. Okay? So they would have these dumb dinners. They would be done in reverse. So you would start with your dessert and then go from there. And you would set a placement for that ancestor or ancestors if you have multiple, or if you only have room, you can set one, and then, but yeah, that's how they would do it. And it would be done in complete silence. They would have this dinner, and then at the end, they would ring a bell 3 times, and this would signify the ending of the dumb dinner. And then it would be like a party, a big celebration, celebrating the ancestors, celebrating life, celebrating the going into the darkness. The summer is gone, right? There's no summer. Summer's done, and the end of harvest and the celebration of the harvest. So that is how dumb dinners were done back then. Like I said, you are free to adapt to it and add other things to it. Totally up to you. And again, this may look different. You may be practicing a different sect that doesn't even have anything to do with ancient Celts or their belief systems and rituals, and that's fine too. But regardless, there's going to be something that involves the changing of the season and feeling that within your bones. You can just feel it, So, and again, it would look different for like ancient Druids. They had different rituals and belief systems. It's scattered and there's not much known about it, but it is known that it is different. And then you have Neo-Druids, which are the new age Druids, and they also adapt and have different rituals. So, ancient Celtic, Samhain, that's where we're at. This was eventually, all their belief systems were eventually brought back to the Americas when the Irish potato famine happened, right? There was a lot of moving to America. So that's where a lot of these belief systems happened. But previously, this is all pre-Christian era. Coming to America, that's becoming Christian era. So there was a lot of adaptability there, and I really don't want to touch into the history behind it. Maybe we can do that in another video of the how the Christians came and got the ancient Celts to acclimate into their religious beliefs and systems. They weren't very, I'm not going to say they were forceful, but they adopted a much more inclusive way of doing it by taking in their belief systems and their rituals and just adding Christian touches to it. Like now, instead of this being about, Bridget, it is now about Jesus, or All Saints Day, for example. Anywho, I'm getting off track here. So fire is used to cleanse. So I like to have a bonfire on this night. You guys are free to have a bonfire. You can have a fire in your cauldron. So there's lots of different ways, but definitely fire is used if you're going to be doing a ritual on Samhain. Rather that be a candle, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. So cleanse yourself. You can also use jack-o'-lanterns to guide your loved ones and guide the dead to you, to your altars. Leaving offerings and setting up a altar is important for Samhain. And again, you can choose who you want on your altar, who you're inviting to your home. And if there's certain family members you don't want to come, you can absolutely keep them from coming. And that is also goes into my next point of why protection is so important during this time, to protect your space, because it's not just your families and loved ones that are crossing over. You now have other entities and energies that are able to cross into our space, which is that weird jittery feeling I was talking about earlier that comes with this season. So videos on how to protect yourself are something we're going to focus on for the next week. And protecting your space and your energy. Sealing portals in your home, so windows, mirrors, sealing those, and just keeping different iron around, things of that nature that will keep negative spirits away. And then again, attracting the spirits you want to be able to come into your home. You can do both. Samhain is also known as the Witch's New Year. The Witch's New Year being the ending of the summer cycle. So that is why it is considered in darkness and like incorporated in darkness and death to the ancient Celts. This is a good time for you to speak with loved ones, use divination tools to talk with spirits. Some herbs that would be great for this is going to be mugwort. So mugwort is great for you to have ancestral connection and spiritual connection, opening the third eye chakra, being able to communicate with the other realm. Star anise, another great one. Again, great for spiritual connection, communication, and protection. Apples. Apples is a very important symbol even to the ancient Celts during this time. Apple bobbing actually came from the ancient Celts, their traditions. It was rooted in actually who in the town would be able to marry first in the, of the young eligible bachelors. So that's how apple bobbing eventually came and incorporated into America. So apples are very important sign, and it becoming the new year is time for us to have new growth, new beginnings, shedding the old, shedding what is not serving you, letting go, releasing. So going into Samhain and wanting to do rituals, I would say stick along the lines of releasing spells. And you can also do attractions. You can bring things to you, new beginnings, road openings. This is a perfect time for those. I like to specifically write down what is no longer serving me. What am I holding on to? Am I holding on to some fear that I'm not good enough? Am I holding on to lack of determination to be able to reach my goals? Procrastination. Am I, holding on to clothes because I'm hoping that I'll fit into it one day? Just little things like that. Write it down and release it. Burn it into the fire. You're releasing and cleansing yourself. That being said, you can also do rituals and you want to bring in abundance for this new year. So which is new year? It's just as if you're doing your new year resolution. What are you bringing into this new year? Journal that down. Actually introspect and take some time with yourself, which I know is super hard if you have kids because on Halloween you're trick-or-treating. But you got to take that time and make time to sit down with yourself, right? That's very important. Okay, now that I jotted that down, that pretty much concludes this YouTube video. I hope this was helpful for some of you guys in that we went over some of the questions you may have had. If you have any more, you can feel free to drop them down in the comments, any kind of videos that you would like me to make. And again, if you haven't, please remember to like and subscribe to my page. It really helps the algorithm and I greatly appreciate it. I love you, witch bitches, and bye.